for all of that because, oh boy, that was some extended breakage we had going on. But welcome back to the Hearthstone Collegiate Championships. My name is Cora. I'm joined by Dr. J, and we are going to get our final series underway. Fret not, chat. The finals will be happening today. If you missed the second semifinal, because of course you did, because you didn't actually get to see it because the stream went down, Northeastern University did end up winning that series over Miami. They won with their Togwaggle Druid against the Clone Priest in game number 4. In their interview, not much happened. They were excited. They're feeling very confident. They feel quite good going into this series. And honestly, kind of a blessing for them that the stream went down because it just gave them more time to prepare against University of Oregon. As the second semifinal, they didn't actually have much time built into the program. So I'm not saying that Northeastern University rigged it that way, but send your complaints to Northeastern University.
Yeah, it may have secretly
it wasn't
been
me.
Northeastern that was like, oh
Claremont,
gosh, we only get 10 minutes. Let's make it 30. Let's make it 30.
We only get 10 minutes. How can I finagle 30? But yeah, we are going to be getting things back underway very shortly. We are at the mercy of technology, as one young Nathan That's Admirable Zamora says. Pretty much every event, if he can get away with it.
Technology's not merciful. Technology, whew, they have no mercy whatsoever. Tough mistress. I don't even have words for how tough of a mistress it is. You already said it was a tough mistress.
She heckin' tough. Chat had some questions for you, Jace. What's your favorite food? Well, it's because I asked them, do you have any questions for Jace? I won't know the answers, but I'll make them up.
All right, let's go.
I made up some answers. So what's your favorite food?
Favorite food is probably, oh gosh. I always like white rice. White rice is really good. I don't know, it's a weird food. It's good though. Tacos are good.
Favorite color?
Green and pink and black.
Okay.
I like green, pink, and black.
I did say black, but I wasn't.
Oh, were you just giving them random answers?
I was giving them fake answers.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to see how wrong you are.
Would you like sour cream on your burrito? That was one of the questions.
No, I hate sour cream.
I got that one right.
Absolutely hate sour cream. I hate sour cream. I hate avocados. I hate guacamole. Right. Don't put that on anything.
You're so weird. And also, we were taking song requests.
Okay.
So if you could have requested a song for chat to type sing, what would it have been?
Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
Oh! Wait. Oh, no, I gotta drink that.
That is a go-to karaoke song. If you are not currently singing it right now, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Got me down because I want it all. Oh, no.
Started out with some Twitch difficulties. Now we're filling some time.
We've got more difficulties. Ooh. Well, I mean, I told chat, you know what, go put some socks on, get some chicken tendies, take a potty break, and we'll be back very shortly. And we're back.
You're not going to see this for 15 minutes,
really?
though.
Are we really back? We're not quite all here. That's okay.
Oh, I'm definitely all here.
You took a nice little break. Ooh, somebody in the chat says that song makes him think of his ex-fiancée. This is a Brightside free zone. Brightside free zone. We are strictly...
Living on a Prayer, Bon Jovi. There you go. Sorry.
Oh, they were singing that.
Were they really singing that?
Yeah, they were singing that. That was good.
That's another go-to karaoke song.
We made it fairly far into that one, actually.
You know what? One of my favorite karaoke songs is Chandelier by Sia, I believe. Just because I've seen Pavel sing it live, and I have a video of my phone of Pavel singing that song. I have a video of my phone of Pavel, our world champion, singing Chandelier by Sia, and it is one of the greatest things you'll ever see.
My goodness. 2016 world champion.
How many people have seen
Pavel.
it, though?
I would ask you to show it right now, but we can't actually zoom in the camera.
And I really don't think they want me holding up my phone like, hey, guys, look. Picture
it in your mind.
It's exactly what you're picturing.
It's better than that.
It's
so
probably better
much
than
better.
that. Have you ever watched one of Pavel's streams?
He
in the past,
hardly ever streams.
Where his sub notification was it was that weird awful flute version of Take On Me. The weird awful flute version.
Oh, we didn't do that one.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, Cora's having fun with chat. I'm actually here to watch some Hearthstone. Unlike some people to my right. Right, chat. Let's have a talk.
What are you talking about? There's nobody here.
Oh, I swore Tommy was over there earlier.
Seeing people. You gotta go get that one checked out.
I swore Tommy was over there earlier.
That's a problem. Yeah, we are gonna have the finals very shortly, but as of right now, we're trying to get them graphics working again.
Yep.
I'm not going to claim to understand the inner workings of the machinery in the production room.
I can't even understand my own mind. How do I expect to understand a machine? I just don't know.
Okay, Nikki has just asked us which is our favorite stone in Hearth. What's your favorite stone?
What kind of question is that?
Nikki thinks she's funny. I think you're funny too, Nikki.
My favorite stone in Hearth. Probably the Moonstone. Because it can upgrade my Chansey. Is that how it works? Is that the one that upgrades Chansey?
It can't actually evolve Chansey. It can evolve Clefairy.
Do I own a Hearth? I do own a Hearth.
I do
Stones
have a Hearth,
I do not
actually.
own, however.
I do actually have a Hearth. My favorite stone? I like the Sunstone, I think. Looks nice. But I'm not really a stone fan. I more prefer the evolution items. Like Upgrade, for instance. You upgrade that there Porygon. Ooh.
Upgrade was a good warrior spell. Upgrade was a great warrior spell.
Upgrade was. I love the guy who's like, do they even read chat? Hello.
What's his name? Can you even say it on stream?
Quickline37.
Hi, we read chat.
We don't read chat.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, Anna's in the chat getting Country Roads started. That's a good one.
Oh, Country Roads is a good one. Or a Wagon Wheel.
Oh, and Chex is getting Fat Bottom Girls started. That's a good one, too.
Oh, especially with Bohemian Rhapsody. That was a great movie.
We did have Bohemian Rhapsody and Somebody to Love going for a very big
How many songs did you get them to sing?
We didn't get
oh my
very
gosh.
far into the songs, to be fair. We didn't get very far into any of the songs. We had Africa. We had a couple of different Queen songs. We had a couple Backstreet Boys songs. I did just get some of Take On Me started. They followed that up.
There we go.
Yeah. They're good. You guide them, and they will just sort of go. They're like one of those little wind-up like toys, like the chattering teeth or whatever, or things that walk when you wind them up. You set them down, and they just go.
My favorite is when they try and count to like 10, and then there's like a bunch of ones, and then there's a bunch of twos, like 1, 2.
Let's see what they do.
They're definitely going to start counting. You already know it.
I just got 1 and 2 in the chat. Will they get 3? Will they get 3?
The worst part about it is like 5 people have 3 ready, but they're waiting. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't press it just yet. I've got 4 ready, but no one's pressed 3 yet. Oh, do I go back and press it?
12. Dang it. Okay, so 3, 5. Oh, you guys, you need you got to work on that. Hope they fix this soon. Accordo, we did fix it. We fixed one problem. One of the problems was fixed.
Yep. One of the problems was fixed. However, one of the other ones is not. That's why we are currently
Explorer banned.
Bantering.
You banned.
Who was it I said the other day was just going to get banned?
Troublemaker Gweekline37.
Oh, I told
troublemaker you.
I told the chat. I said, name your rises. She's just ignoring me. She just doesn't even. I don't exist apparently. I might as well just get off the set.
Force of a great typhoon. All the strength of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
No,
where does it go after that? It's like, oh gosh, it gets really fast paced after that. I don't even want to know. You probably know it. I'm just not even going to try. You were ignoring me earlier. I might as well just not have been here.
I was. Oh! None of this would be possible if it weren't for our generous sponsors from Asus Republic of Gamers. So thank you very much for bringing us this season of the Hearthstone Collegiate Championships. It actually, all things considered, has been a really fantastic season. The Hearthstone games have been a ton of fun. The streams have been a ton of fun to be a part of. And I can confirm coverage will resume for the chat in 5 minutes. But the games are going to start very shortly. I was going to say right now, but they're actually not. But we can check out the matchup. It's going to be University of Oregon taking on Northeastern University here, and the bands are in, people. Paladin, Rogue, Warlock, Hunter band, Warrior, Hunter, Druid, Priest band. Break it down, Jay.
Yeah, it's actually interesting that University of Oregon is confident in leaving up the odd Warrior from Northeastern. They've actually decided to ban out the Priest, which means that they just think that this Archmage Vargoth Priest, with their very aggressive lineup, is too powerful for them. That is actually a shock to me, especially bringing Zulok, Even Paladin, Tempo Rogue, and Mid-Range Hunter. They left up odd Control Warrior. But let's go ahead and take a look at one of your finalist teams here. From Oregon, Serpin, Night Quest, and Noah JV with Psychology, Sports Business, and Undecided. I would say one of the teams we've seen be emotional the most. every time after a win, I'm not sure if the chat has seen it at home, but we have seen that they have popped off. They have jumped up. They've had a good time. They've just been crazy. They obviously enjoy playing Hearthstone with each other, so they have been a great team to watch so far.
You're absolutely right. That is one of the biggest differences we've seen between Oregon and Northeastern. Northeastern are so
they're
calm
business
and collected and, you know what, laser-focused. Oregon, they popped off screen, but we still saw it, and it was glorious. And the roster from Northeastern University, we have Canoe, Just in Time, and Prodigen, Mechanical Engineering, Computer Engineering, and Biochemistry. Just in Time, you've not seen him on screen because he is currently away at an internship in sunny California. It's about 86 degrees today, so I'm sure he's
Oh my gosh, they keep changing locations.
Now they're in a kitchen?
Well, it is getting late there for Northeastern, so they probably
oh, you're right. It's almost midnight.
needed to move around for a little bit, especially because of that long break.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Maybe they needed a snacky.
I mean, what better place to play Hearthstone than the kitchen? You're so close to the fridge. What are you talking about? It's
Careful
the best
with
place
the word
to play
kitchen
Hearthstone.
around me. You know, a little triggering sometimes. Never mind.
I didn't get the joke.
Is it okay? Is a meme. There's a what
Where
in the
am I at?
background? There's a cat? What? Where?
Oh, look at the kitty!
That's right, cat. No, you
Oh,
get
it's
back up
gone.
on
Where'd
that
it go?
counter,
No.
Cat.
Prodigen. Someone, whoever our admin is,
That's
James,
granite.
get Prodigen
You can
to
wash
get the
that.
cat
Don't
back
worry
on.
about the
Oh my
hair.
gosh.
Get a hand back. Put that cat back up there.
That's almost as good as the dancing fire ant.
Oh, I don't know that you can beat the dancing fire ant. That fire ant was flossing, and it was beautiful.
It was great. Oh gosh, I love to see animals on stream. We haven't seen one in a while.
It has been a while. Not since Ham Boy and Ham Girl and their many cats, I think.
Did we even see any of the cats?
We saw like 2 or 3
I think
of
you
them.
saw them, and I just wasn't paying attention to them. I was just too enthralled with the cube lot gameplay.
We saw a couple of them.
That's true.
Maybe we'll see more of them when the Open Division finals come around. 20th and 21st of April. If you're not doing anything for Easter, why don't you come hang out with us? We're going to be casting some Hearthstone.
We're going to have a Easter egg hunt in Twitch chat.
Yes, we are.
I'm going to hide Easter eggs in Twitch chat. I don't know how I'm going to do that. We'll find a way.
I'm going to hide Hearthstone packs
No, she's
in
not.
Twitch chat.
She's definitely not. That's literally impossible.
I could just like insert Hearthstone pack codes. It's like nobody will notice that I'm inserting this Hearthstone pack code because the chat's moving so fast.
No,
just kidding.
Nobody will notice I've hidden this Easter egg because chat's moving so fast.
Just kidding. If you've ever watched the Hearthstone Collegiate Championships, you know we are a small but passionate family of people who don't chat particularly fast. Actually, I think the fastest I've ever seen chat was when the stream was down.
Spamming lull.
It was when the stream was down, or when they're spamming lull, or when they're like Miss Lethal, or when they're like Sapcasters. Yeah, whatever. All right, let's get into game number 1. It is the varsity finals here, University of Oregon versus Northeastern University. And we've got not a druid, but actually an even paladin taking on this mid-range hunter from Northeastern. Druid and priest, bah. We don't need those classes right now.
Yeah, the mid-range hunter is also interesting because it's running 2 copies of Candle Shot. That's going to help it out quite a bit as it aims to try and answer all of these 1-mana Silverhand recruits that come out of the hero power. Looks like a pretty good start for Northeastern here. The Acidic Swamp Ooze is a little bit of a bummer, just to get rid of that Candle Shot, but they actually have the other Candle Shot, so I don't think they're going to be too worried about that.
Acidic Swamp Ooze right onto the Candle Shot. You're not going to hit anything better than that in this matchup, so you might as well.
I really
It's a
like playing the...
fairly-
What were you going to say?
I was just going to say it's a fairly decent opener from Oregon. 2 into 2 plus hero power into Glass Knight. Sorry, chat just caught up and now I'm a little distracted.
Oh my gosh.
They're so happy.
Sure they are.
They're thrilled. Look at them.
I definitely like the Candle Shot here. Just go ahead and try and take care of this ooze over 2 turns. There's no taunt that can put away next turn, so it'll guarantee the kill on this ooze. It'll also set them up for maybe potentially flanking strike like a 2-3, and then they can either go like Scavenging Hyena, Coin Razor Maw. That's another line of play. But Flanking Strike just seems too strong on the following turn.
I think Northeastern, because they got off to a slower start, they're going to have to take this one very slow and actually play the control game for the majority of it. Obviously, that means they're going to be leaning quite heavily into finding Deathstalker Rexar, but with 2 copies of Tracking and Master's Calls to thin the deck, they usually will find it anyway. They just simply didn't have the opportunity to get particularly aggressive so far.
Now, this is really awkward because they play the Glass Knight here, but the Glass Knight can just be answered by the minion on board. So I think for Northeastern here, they're probably going to go Scavenging Hyena, adapt the Scavenging Hyena, and then just kill off the Glass Knight. And then they've got a pretty strong board themselves. Next turn, they can go like Unleash the Hound's Hunter's Mark and try and answer the majority of the board.
It's a pretty good swing. Obviously, there's some very bad adaptations that Northeastern could hit here, but Divine Shield, Stealth, plus Health.
I think I really like Stealth here.
Yeah,
Stealth is going to help you against something like True Silver Champion.
You want this Hyena to survive.
Divine Shield's not too bad either. It makes it better for trading on future turns if you're not expecting a True Silver Champion. And they would have True Silver Champion the turn before. So I think Northeastern probably has a great read that they do not have True Silver Champion in their hand.
Well, they are correct. This means that Oregon is going to have to give up Archmage Vargoth just as hopefully a removal tool because Northeastern fears it, they're assuming.
You can just go Unleash the Hound's Hunter's Mark, take 2 trades, and just push a lot of damage face. Next turn they've got Master's Call, Animal Companion. Oh, this Unleash the Hounds just has to be too strong here.
They have thoroughly swung this. Oregon had the control right from the start, which was honestly more than they could expect, I think, a lot of the time in this matchup. But with just a Crackling Razor Maw and a Scavenging Hyena, Northeastern are already going to be pushing for lethal damage very soon.
The worst part about this is they have to Avenging Wrath and hope it clears the board. I don't think any other play wins them the game. But there is a world, there is a dimension, there is a universe in which Avenging Wrath clears this board. Are we living in that world? Are we living in that dimension? Are we living in that universe? No, because they didn't play it.
I'm not saying we're not. It could have happened, but now it can't happen because they didn't play it.
I honestly think that was like the only way they won the game.
If you got to get a little bit lucky, then you know what? Sometimes you are going to get very lucky.
That's just game, isn't it? You just trade off 2 Spring Paws. Or it wasn't potentially lethal, but it was like close enough, I guess.
It is. The nail has been put in the coffin, and they're pulling out the hammer.
Yeah. I think I would have rather seen that, to be honest, because if that happens, they could just like hero power, and now they have to get through like a Spike Ridge Steed. Now they're going to Avenging Wrath. Oh boy. I think this is just accepting defeat. Yep. The Hyena got bigger.
Soloed by a 2-drop.
Sometimes it happens. Hyena is a powerful card. Bam. Big noise. We're going to game 2.
Big noise. Big claps. Northeastern taking game number 1. Mid-range Hunter getting a win. What a shock. We are very surprised. Now, I was very likely that was going to be able to find a win.
Yeah, it looked like Mid-range Hunter was the best into the opposing lineup. The Warrior actually looks like it's going to be fitted fairly strong as well. So it's going to come down to whether they can potentially sweep something like this Druid, which I think is going to be difficult to do with Rogue on their side.
I agree. Druid versus Rogue. Spellstone lines up so incredibly well. Wrath lines up so incredibly well. Oaken Summons has now the high roll with Archmage Vargoth, which I think should just blow out the Rogue in any instance. I worry a little bit about the Rogue, honestly, for University of Oregon. But they took a risk, right? They brought a lineup that is more aggressive than anybody else in the top 8. And that really set them apart. It makes them very unique as far as lineup choice, but does that mean necessarily that it was going to get you all the way? I don't know. Northeastern's just got the more standard lineup. They've brought the good decks, whereas University of Oregon brought decks that work well together and try to target a specific lineup. But if the opponent doesn't have that lineup, then you run the risk of being heavily targeted.
Yeah, that's the biggest fear, and I think if I were Oregon, I would have left up the Priest. I think you have a better chance against Priest than you do with Warrior. It's tough to say, though. This is a bit of a greedier Warrior. It does run copies of cards like Tinkmaster over Spark, which aren't the greatest in those matchups. And it also runs Azalina, which also isn't the greatest. So maybe they felt like the tech decisions just weren't there for the Warrior, and they wanted to try and capitalize on that.
Possible. Absolutely is. But regardless, Mid-Range Hunter is now out of the way for Northeastern. And honestly, they could bring up whatever of their remaining 2 decks next.
I think they're going to bring up the Warrior, because the Warrior seems really good into Rogue, seems really good into Zoo Warlock, and it seems fine against Even Paladin. I think Even Paladin's probably its worst matchup.
I feel generally okay about the Warrior versus Even Paladin. Obviously, you run the risk of Valinir getting extended value, or just being blown out by a Corpse Taker into Blessing of Kings, but there are 2 Owls in the deck, so Valinir is going to be less likely to get extended value. Northeastern are actually going to bring out the Druid first. They have 2 decks remaining that are very good at controlling aggro, and Oregon has 3 aggro decks. That's what this is really going to come down to. Aggro absolutely can beat control, or anti-control, I suppose, as the Druid somewhat is, but it also just has all of the natural controlling Druid elements. But you know what? It's going to be tough.
Cora is still just looking at Twitch chat right now.
Absolutely.
They still haven't even seen a card get played yet.
Nope.
And
They've
we're
not.
in game 2.
But we talked about your favorite food and your favorite color, and they seemed to enjoy that. Zach has made a bold claim. He says Old Town Road is better than country roads. Discuss.
That's definitely a 2000s baby.
Now they're counting.
Well, yeah,
now
we
they're
told them to
counting.
count.
Yeah, but I started counting 15 minutes ago. All we got to was like 5, but we skipped 4.
But Dr.
And
J
instead
told
of 3,
them to
we
count.
had 12.
But Dr. J told them to count.
Now you count.
I'm proud of you, Twitch chat. Say your favorite number, go.
54651298741365475.
Sounds like pi. Like, this is just a number for pi? Is that what this is?
I mean, I suppose, yes, that is part of pi.
I'm sure it is somewhere. Right now, it's looking pretty good for Northeastern's curve. They've got access to Twig of the World Tree. They've got access to Ironwood Golem. This Oaken Summons could pull Archmage Vargod. And probably just win him the game on the spot. Vargood.
Vargod. Varget it.
Goth.
Varget gone because all of the surrounding cards are rotating tomorrow.
Stay in the decks it's currently in? I don't even know.
Line 37's like my band.
I think that was actually the person yesterday, too. That's the funniest part. Am I actually banned? Because I'm pretty sure I called them out on stream.
I called about 15 minutes ago for saying we don't read chat.
Am I banned? Yes.
Sorry, man. It's nothing.
Yes, don't log in.
It's nothing personal. Oh man. Okay, Jace.
I'm giving the Play Hearthstone admin behind the desk the thumbs up right now.
We gotta
done.
bring it back, Jace. We gotta bring it back. We gotta rein it in. These teams deserve our top-notch casting.
And that's what we've been giving.
That's what we've been giving them? Question mark. Oof.
There is a lot at stake, though. There is a lot at stake, and I really like Northeastern's decision to go for that Twig there. I think Twig is one of the most important resources here. So I really like them playing it here. They need to start getting through these swings.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that they don't have the Innervate to go Oaken Summons, Innervate Spellstone this turn. But they do just have the chance to hit Vargod here. And they did.
And then they're going to pull out another Ironwood Golem. That is absolutely absurd. You're about to see the power of this card. It's also going to upgrade the Spellstones yet again.
Oh, that's good.
What a turn.
Quick question. Chat wants to know what your favorite beverage is.
Root beer. Root beer float.
I don't drink root beer much. It's good.
I used to be addicted. It's pretty bad.
I like unsweetened iced tea with lemon.
That sounds really bad.
Or sparkling water
Also
with lime.
sounds really bad.
I actually had my first Le Croix today. It was delicious. And yes, it was the lime flavor. Big fan.
Oh, this is just so awkward because they want to be able to kill off this Vargoth. This is just, but they have to like silence the.
Yeah, they can't get through to it to kill it, so they just have to. Well, unless they silence the.
And it sounds the Ironwood
and
Golem,
then kill the
but
Vargoth.
that just feels so bad. But it looks like they think Vargoth is just that big of a threat, and I can't blame them.
It absolutely is. If there was Innervate Nourish in hand for Northeastern, and then
my
Vargoth
gosh, it'd be
50-50 casted another
insane.
Nourish, yeah, you can't let that happen. But now this is just an incredibly weak board to swipe if Northeastern had it. Fortunately for Oregon, they don't.
Yeah, the Redemption isn't that big of a problem here because it brings back a 3-1 that doesn't have the text that the typical Corpse Taker has. It will have to end up taking 5 damage, but I mean, hey, they play this, they probably Spellstone the Spellbreaker if they want to. They don't even need to Spellbreaker, to Spellstone the Spellbreaker. But I think it's a little bit safer. It saves your 3/6. You can try and get armor total for later on. You can Nourish for ramp on the next turn.
They're fighting pretty successfully for board right now. If they can continue to do that, then maybe they can save some of their removal going forward. Although, honestly, if they can find a good reason to play Spreading Plague, usually in this matchup, you want to. Otherwise, it can just sit in the hand for too long, and then you never have an opportunity to play it.
Should I?
This is just still super awkward for Oregon here. The most they can do is like play 2 minions, and that's really about it. I guess they can give Divine Shield to the 3-1 and take a bump. That's about it.
Northeastern 2, the return of the Cato.
Oh, it's gone.
No, it's still there. It's just stalking its prey. Like any self-respecting cat would. Maybe it's wishing that Northeastern were playing Death Rattle Hunter so it could see Cat 3-0, Winter Wisp.
You make fun of me for having dad jokes.
Maybe it's wishing that they were playing Stranglethorn Tiger. Ooh, it wants to see Savannah Highmane again.
Now, how about...
Can I get anybody else on the desk with me right now?
Taste of your own medicine, man. Been doing this for 7 weeks.
But my dad jokes are superb. Just looks like Northeastern's just in the driver's seat at this point. I guess the Avenging Wrath could potentially help them out. Try and burn them out at this rate. Get down the Lich King on the following turn. Hope that they don't necessarily use the full mana cost of their Twig for the next turn.
Yeah. It's somewhat awkward to use 9 mana and then 10 mana.
It is, but honestly, I really want them to get UI down next turn. I mean, maybe they could get away with not doing it. Maybe they just get away with Spreading Plague, Spellstone. I think I really like Face here with both of them. I don't know if killing off this 4-1's going to help you.
No, I don't think it will. Best you're doing is running in the Argent Protector to try and, what, push a little bit more damage with the Corpse Taker? Or you could put Northeastern to 13. I like 13.
Yeah, they're getting kind of low. Tempo togwaggle swap. Just kidding. Don't do that.
Genius.
I mean, you could go like togwaggle, spellstone, swing, and then UI. Try to win the board that way. Would not advise that.
Take 5 of their cards, let them swap the board back, and hope that those 5 cards were the best 5 cards in their game. I don't know about that.
I really like them using the UI now. The reason I like it so much is because if something like Tyrion or Lich King comes down next turn, they're not actually going to have the life resource in order to play or swing with the twig. So they need to do it now just to get this UI. 5/5 on the board, and also just have as like a best turn as possible as they could.
Not to mention they just have double branching paths in hand.
Not to mention they just have lethal.
Yeah.
Northeastern
with the
going
double
up to a
branching paths in hand.
2-0. Naturalize the 8/8, double branching pass, maybe even one branching pass swipe might get the job done.
Take your pick, as long as it equals 20 damage or more.
This as well, sure. I think this gets the job done too.
It's actually exactly 19 damage, so if you want to be as efficient as possible,
that's what
that's
Northeastern was going for. They said, how do we get exact lethal this turn?
We know we can kill him with naturalized double pads, but no, you know what? We had a whole half an hour to prepare for this series. We can do better. Cat mascot is watching.
Almost kind of looks like their mascot. I know their mascot's like a wolf, but
Ooh, he's drinking out of the Leroy cup. He's hydrated aggressively. His hydration has charge.
Their mascot is the paws, so it makes a lot of sense.
The paws. Northeastern University from Claremont, Massachusetts.
Yeah, and I hate to let University of Oregon know, but they have to reverse sweep an Odd Warrior with Zoo Warlock, Even Paladin, and Pirate Rogue.
Ah.
It's not looking good for him right now.
You know what? Justin Bieber said, never say never.
Are we really quoting Justin Bieber right now? Did that like 30-minute break get straight to your head that bad?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it did.
I can also see University of Oregon. They were just kind of like, you couldn't see it, but at the corner of their eye, there was they were giving each other a pep talk. They had like everyone in, arms in.
They're like, okay, guys, we got this. This is nothing we haven't done before.
It's gonna be tough, especially against Odd Warrior. They're gonna need probably one of the best Zoo starts you'll ever see. They're going to need probably the best Rogue start you'll ever see, and Paladin probably has the easiest chance, which is scary to think about because I don't think Paladin's that great.
Nope.
Especially double Iron Beak
Owl. This is just your standard control warrior. Odd, of course. A little bit greedy. 2 cubes, 2 faceless manipulators, 1 Tickmaster Overspark, 2 owls.
Oh, actually.
But still well equipped to take down the aggression.
Graphic was wrong. They actually did ban the warrior. I was about to say, I feel like there's no reason they shouldn't ban the warrior. So it makes a lot of sense now. The priest is sweepable.
I feel wronged. I feel wronged.
The priest is sweepable with this lineup. It's going to be hard, but the priest is sweepable.
Technology wanted us to look silly, and darn it, it accomplished that. Priest is definitely sweepable for aggro.
Oh,
Things just got a lot better for Oregon.
I mean, it's still looking pretty grim, but it got better.
Slightly less grim. Hey, suddenly Pirate Rogue, instead of having a terrible matchup like it does against Warrior, has a great matchup against Priest.
Yeah, Pirate Rogue is pretty strong against Priest, especially with copies of cards like Sap. Sap are just so strong in this matchup.
Falderai Strider, Myra's Unstable Element. Part of the reason people are bringing Pirate Rogue is because it's good against Priest. If they want to ban Hunter, then they need something that can take down that Priest, and Pirate Rogue absolutely can.
Thing is, it's good against Hunter and Priest. So you hit 2 of some of the most popular decks in the game.
What is a loon's will?
And this is a pretty good start for Oregon. They have coin with raiding party or backstab with raiding party. Doesn't really matter. They've got the raiding party. That's the important part.
I think I would like to see the potential for coin raiding party here. Just kind of thin through your deck.
I suppose what's your alternate option? Hero power?
Yeah, that would be the alternate option here. But then again, you need to like use this coin for the raiding party anyway on the following turn. So if you go coin raiding party, you develop Shadow Blade, you hit him in the face. You then next turn go like Deadly Poison, maybe potentially one of the pirates hold for a turn, and then you go Captain Greenskin, hit him in the face. I think this is fine as well.
Opting to develop instead. I don't think Dagger makes much sense because you have Shadow Blade in hand and you're going to get another Shadow Blade off of Raiding Party, and you have Greenskin. Suddenly that's a lot of weapon swings that you just want to start using to hit face very soon.
So what this tells me is Oregon's game plan is to go Shadow Blade into coin Greenskin. That's what this is telling me currently. Because holding the coin, the only other card you would want to coin in this hand is the Greenskin unless you draw something else, potentially like a Faldori Strider on the following turn. So it looks to me that Oregon has planned it out to where they want to go Shadow Blade on the next turn, maybe hold the swing, or swing, because they have more weapon draw, and then go coin Greenskin and continue to swing.
Northeastern opt to Hero Power Pass instead of Shadow Visions this turn. Oh my gosh. Hello, kitty. Northeastern have resorted to underhanded cat-fueled tactics.
Obsessed with that cat.
Call it an obsession.
I
Just a
definitely
deep
would.
appreciation.
Probably take Scream, I think. They're under a bit of pressure, but not much that would warrant like taking a Shadow Word Pain. Oh boy. I still think it's coin Greenskin. I think it's coin Greenskin hit. Next turn you go like Deadly Poison Raiding Party, see what you draw, and continue to keep on trucking. I like the way they've been playing this out so far. I like their strategy with holding on to the raiding party for later on.
They had a plan going into this, and I like that.
They're even holding on to the weapon to get both Deadly Poisons onto it.
It's hard to disagree when they've got such a concrete strategy in their mind. And I love that they're going as hard into this big weapon as they are, because there's no weapon removal for Northeastern. This is a legitimate way for Oregon to deal damage fast and consistently.
This is going to be an 8-3 weapon.
Oh, geez, they're counting again.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You know, if we keep this cycle going, every 15 minutes they will be counting. You do realize that, right?
15 minutes are up. Commence counting.
What is
Hold, brothers, hold.
But an 8-3 weapon, that is 24 damage.
It's insane. It will now come down to, honestly, do they have the follow-up for this weapon? Do they have the Saps? Do they have the Leroy? Do they find the Myras? Because this weapon can get them there.
They may not need follow-up. This is Eviscerate. They're going to get some Pirates here. Oh, double Dread Corsair.
Oh my gosh.
They can just hold that back because this board is threatening enough. What a massive way. I really like the way Oregon has played this so far. It tells me that they have a lot of experience on this Rogue deck. I think this is like the first time we've seen them play it.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen them bring the Pirate Rogue prior to this. I believe it's been banned both times. Because it is just the aggressive deck that they have that is best positioned against both Priest and Hunter.
Yes.
And most people who are just bringing the classes that they think are the best classes have Priest and Hunter. So Northeastern going to heal up a little bit again, but now Oregon can backstab the Ziliacs. Push another 9.
Faldori Strider off the top. They can play that along with one of the Dread Corsairs, maybe hold the other one back for a turn. question is, do they even want to play it? If they play it, they forfeit it over to another Resurrect Ziliax, and they know that they have to Resurrect Ziliax or they're dead.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be opposed to seeing them just hold on to both of them. If they can't Resurrect Ziliax, they may just have to Scream.
I'll res the Ziliax, smite the Falderai, and you can heal face, so they go to 17.
They will have to eviscerate this 3-2 as it stands.
And they are...
Another eviscerate.
So they have 12 this turn.
Probably need to play one of the Dread Corsairs here. They still need pressure on the board. Maybe even 2. Re-equip the Shadow Blade. They may have to rely on drawing something like second. You okay over there?
Somebody has invited you to Red Robin for bottomless root beer floats. Do you accept?
Sure.
Circle yes or circle no. Zach, congratulations, you've got yourself a date.
Okay. Sure. I don't know how to respond to this. Probably have to Psychic Scream this, as scary as it is. If they resurrect with Spellstone, they're just going to get back the Ziliax, which is great, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, maybe they have to. They know one of the cards is a pirate, so maybe they can put it on being deckhand, and they would be dead to, like, deckhand plus another card, so they'd have to do this to stay alive. But they're just running out of resources.
All they've got now is 2 turns of removal, and then burn that is irrelevant because they can't kill Oregon with it.
They are 1 damage off right now. Holy moly.
Think.
Okay, so I think the play is Eviscerate. Leroy Jenkins, push everything face.
You gotta go for it.
Well, I like Leroy here because if they... I guess no, you can hold back on the Leroy. Because if they do have Psychic Scream, you can just Leroy next turn anyways.
I suppose. They also have still a couple draws for damage. Sassy Deckhand, SI7 Agent in the deck, Myra's, Second Raiding Party.
What can
They've got some
Shadow
spiders
hit?
in the deck from Falderai.
What can Shadow Essence hit? Anything relevant? No, they would still be dead to Leroy no matter what, I think.
Yeah, they can't
Unless
hit
it's
Ziliax.
Witchwood Grizzly. They have a Witchwood Grizzly. They do have a copy of Witchwood Grizzly.
I wonder.
Prophet Velen would heal them for 4, put them to 11. They'd still be dead to Leroy. I think they have to go for Shadow Essence. Because if they hit Velen, they're still in a decent spot. If they hit Grizzly, they're not actually dead to Leroy, but this way they always die to Leroy. But then again, can you put them on their last card being Leroy? It's a bold call to make. All right, Oregon's going to get on the board.
We've officially descended into the Fitness Graham Pacer test in the chat. And Oregon have picked up their first win here in the finals of the Varsity bracket. They've managed to beat the Priest once, but can they do it 2 more times? The Rogue was a really good chance at taking the win. Obviously, Rogue very strong against Priest right now. At least this particular Pirate Rogue deck is. That leaves them with their Zoo Warlock and their Even Paladin. Those are going to be a little bit more difficult. Even Paladin does have Mojo Master Zihi, which is phenomenal against Priest.
Both decks actually have Mojo Master Zihi, so they've got the techs to beat it. The question is, I mean, you got to beat Priest 3 times, and it's Archmage Vargoth Priest.
We didn't see Shadow Essence into Vargoth or Spellstone to resurrect Vargoth that game, but we know it's there. And given more time, given a less pressuring situation, maybe like against the Even Paladin, we could see Vargoth be taken advantage of. And it is a sight to behold. And it's something you're only going to be able to behold for another now 13 hours? 12 and a half hours?
That's scary to think about. 12 and a half hours. Hearthstone will change as we know it.
12.5 hours from now, Rise of Shadows will be released. The Year of the Dragon will be upon us. Brian Kibler will be able to rest easy at night and breathe a big sigh of the fresh air that the Year of the Dragon holds.
And then breathe
and
fire.
also, a lot of cards are going to be gone from Standard.
Gone. Dragons are just breathing fire on them. It's Dragon's
production,
Breath.
Can we get a breath mint?
Oh my god. It's Dragon's Breath. It's Dragon's Breath. Just clears all the board. It's just clearing all the cards. It's like, you know how you sap casters, you vanish casters, you Dragon's Breath cards. That's what's happening right now.
Assassinate casters, you walk the plank casters, backstab execute casters, shield slam casters if you have enough armor.
I think anybody in Twitch chat would have
Vanish
enough armor.
casters.
Nobody in Twitch chat seems like a warrior player. It's either everyone in Twitch chat's a warrior player or no one is. I feel like that's my bold statement.
Depends on whose chat you're watching.
That's a good point.
All right, Oregon are bringing out the Even Paladin now for their second shot at beating this priest deck. Like we were saying, they have Mojo Master Zihi. I would think bringing out this Paladin because it's much less susceptible to mass hysteria, whereas the Zoo Warlock obviously can just be completely shut down by mass hysteria. This deck, however, loses pretty hard to Psychic Scream, and if you don't get that Corpse Taker early, you can get off to a really slow start. And that's what this is looking like for Oregon.
Yeah, even with Corpse Taker, though, Northeastern, I wouldn't be surprised to see them keep Shadow Word Pain. That is their premier answer to a Corpse Taker. Northeastern thinking pretty long on this mulligan. Only keeping the Shadow Word Pains, that tells me they really want to find something like Vargoth, maybe Radiant Elemental so they can get onto the board early. They feel as if it's more important to get maybe earlier pieces rather than to have that removal in their hand.
Pretty sweet start for Northeastern. They'd love to find a Radiant Elemental. That would just be the icing on the cake.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Power Word Shield on a 1/1. Not the greatest, not the worst. It's really bad into, like, Blessings of Kings, I guess.
Yeah.
But maybe they get desperate enough
that
I know, right? Maybe they get desperate enough that they need to.
Nah, I don't think Northeastern are there yet.
No, not yet, but you never know. Hand is not the strongest as of yet, but
I see Shadow Essence and I think, what a hand! We've done it.
I mean, that's probably
we got our Shadow Essence.
You only play Vargoth and your Priest. It's like the only minion you can pull.
You just pulled non-stop Vargoths. I mean, Mass Hysteria, like I was saying, great against Zoo. A little bit slower in this matchup. If Oregon had Blessing of Kings right now, things would be getting a little bit dicey for Northeastern. Well, not right now. 2 turns from now.
I feel like they're probably just going to go with Hero Power Pass here. Probably thinking on the Shadow Word Pain, but I don't necessarily think they need to do it just yet, especially because they have that for Corpse Taker. Like, I would not want to see them use a Pain here, only to get Corpse Taker on 4, just to not have an answer.
You can't Pain here.
Alright. Come on, Misfit Minions, you gotta get in there and you gotta do your job.
Island of Misfit Minions. See that recruit right there? The one on the left?
Yes.
He wants to be a dentist. But all Liadrin wants him to do is fight. He's not a fighter. He's a fixer.
No, he's definitely a fighter. He's holding a hammer. Do you think that's the fixed teeth?
Yes, I do.
You're kidding me. That thing is like as big as him. How's he gonna fix teeth with that?
Don't criticize him for having dreams, Jace. Don't you have a dream?
Yeah, it has to be a dentist.
That's what I thought. Ooh.
They did get desperate enough to go ahead and use the Power Word Shield there. Looks like they're trying to set up for a Mass Hysteria in the future turns as well. Ooh, the Blessings of Kings.
There's the payoff.
That is so good. on Crystal Smith Kangor. It has to be the minion you put it on too, right? Yeah, that's just too strong.
Yeah, you
There's
have
also
to
a
hit it on
chance
the
that
Divine
the minion just lives and the minions hit each other because of that power word shield.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, either way, it would have been. There could have been a chance for the 1/1s to hit the 2/2.
Psychic Scream's a great draw, but it's going to be still quite a few turns before Northeastern can play that. And this Kangor is clocking for 5 every single turn.
Are we starting to see a comeback? This would be a pretty insane comeback. Alright, True Silver Champion's pretty good here. Allows them to clean up this Radiant Elemental. They can also play Redemption. You know, why not? Especially because they're going into Sunkeeper Tarim on the next turn. I mean, or 1/1, I think that's fine as well. Especially if you know they really don't have an answer to this. Maybe you thought they would have Mass Hysteria at this board by now. This is a lot of pressure. Pretty sure
that
they
Blessing
don't...
of Kings saved
Yeah, that
Oregon
Blessing
in this
of
game,
Kings was insane.
100%. Ziliax is a good draw, though. Ziliax gets them through to coin Psychic Scream next turn.
They can also resurrect it on future turns. Yeah, that was a draw they needed there. However, they can True Silver over. Or maybe just put the shield in, with the Divine Shield. That way they don't gain the 3 life.
Consecration. I think they have to assume that Northeastern... The best thing for Northeastern to do next turn would be Coin Scream. So you can play around that by not developing into it.
Should I?
Yeah, this is probably one of the better Consecrations they're ever going to get. They can go Consecration, Hero Power, push everything face but the weapon, would put them down to 9 health, and then they go like Hero Power, Wind Fury Harpy on the following turn.
Should I?
Wind Fury Harpy is going to be pretty hard to answer, especially after they've seen the coin Psychic Scream. Hopefully they set up lethal that way. I mean, obviously we can see a resurrected Ziliax would stop that,
Yeah.
but I don't know. This is probably
close.
the best Consecration they're ever going to get.
It technically deals 5 damage because it's denying the 3 health from the Ziliax. A little bit more than that because you're not having to trade your minions into it. It's good. Consecration is not going to be good in the rest of this game. There's no equality in the deck for Oregon. Snap, Coin Scream.
Yeah, they have to do it. Now, the biggest problem with this is if there is a Avenging Wrath right around the corner. They just drew Avenging Wrath. We're going to Game 5.
We've got a series on our hands, folks, and Oregon are mounting the comeback. They've beaten this Priest twice. Can they do it one more time?
I was really worried for Oregon when I first thought Warrior was in play, but seeing the Priest was going to struggle into this lineup. It is all coming down to Zoo Warlock versus Cloning Gallery Priest to determine your final winner of the Varsity Series.
It's still not necessarily going to be easy for the Warlock, but they've got some tools that will help them out. Keleseth, obviously, to make the minions more healthy, make it a little bit more difficult for Mass Hysteria to clear them. Mojo Master Zihi to deny Spellstones, to deny Zarek's Cloning Gallery, to deny Psychic Scream, very importantly.
Honestly, just a Flame Imp on 1 without Holy Smite on the other side is good enough.
Flame Imp, Coin, Flame Imp, Keleseth.
That sounds like a pretty good curve right now.
Get him.
This is, I can't believe it. It started 2-0 for Northeastern. It looked like they were just going to walk away with this series, but Oregon, they don't call them the Fighting Ducks for nothing. So
at the very least, they've turned this into a match. So honestly, with all the work that these teams have put in, to see a 3-0 sweep here would have been obviously very happy for the team that won, but maybe a little bit disappointing all around. So we've got a series on our hands. We're going to game number 5. It's going to be Zoo Warlock versus the Cloning Gallery Priest, and we will be right back.
Intel Core i7 processor.
Oregon were down 0-2, backs against the wall. It was the 11th hour, and they have managed to bring it to a game number 5. And I know that you guys couldn't see it on screen, but we've got our monitor to the right that we use for interviews, and it is currently on Oregon's Skype. And during the break, they had a little powwow. They had a moment together. There was hugging involved. It was honestly like I'm kind of choked up watching it. We don't usually get to see that level of camaraderie and friendship and emotion from these players. But Oregon, they're just so happy to have made it to this point. And I can't imagine what the interview would be like if they managed to win this game number 5. It would be the ultimate comeback. But they are still, I think, unfavored here.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough series, especially with how well Northeastern have been. I would say Northeastern have been like the Titans of the varsity season so far. They've been playing exceptionally well throughout the entirety of the season. We've seen them like 3 weeks during regular season, and now we've seen them make it all the way to the finals, and they have not lost a single game on stream. So if they were to lose this one, this would be their first. But, you know, both these teams making it to the finals has been well-deserved, so it's going to be a great Game 5.
Just great players, great guys, and it's been a real joy to get to watch them play over the course of the last weeks, and then, of course, over the last couple of days. So regardless of how this game goes, both of these teams you will be seeing more of. They're moving on to the championship bracket, but this is for the spot at the Masters Tour in Las Vegas, $250,000 prize pool. Who's getting the invite? Will it be Oregon or will it be Northeastern? We've got Zoo Warlock versus Cloning Priest.
Yeah, and right now you can see Mulligan in the way, the other two cards. They're keeping the Voidwalker just to have a 1-drop. But right now their hand's not looking the strongest. I can see a Witchwood Grizzly on Northeastern's side. It's going to be a very powerful tool in this matchup. If they had kept the Happy Ghoul, they may have had some pretty crazy early game shenanigans, but obviously Northeastern keeping that Shadow Word Pain to try and keep that in check.
Then Oregon with, I think, a slower start than they would have liked. But picking up that Happy Ghoul to go with the Voodoo Doctor on turn 3 is a little bit of reprieve, I would say. They did run the risk of drawing dead because they kept that Voidwalker, and Voidwalker is a 1-drop. It's better than no 1-drop. But do you think in this matchup you have to go for the better 1-drops? You've got to go for your Kobold Librarian, for your Flame Imp?
I'm not actually sure. This is one of those matchups that I have very limited experience in because the Zulok has been around for a little bit, but the Priest is kind of newer. I would say you probably need a more impactful 1-drop than the Voidwalker, but it might just be more important to have a 1-drop because your curve might just be strong enough later on if you have it. Difficult call to make, though. If I could pick a 1-drop, it would probably be Flame Imp, but, I mean, Voidwalker, sticky body, can push a little bit of damage, doesn't die to Holy Smite. Might be better in the long run.
Hey, something's better than nothing. And that Fungalmancer is going to be a nice bit of pressure if Northeastern don't answer the board this turn, which Coin Mass Hysteria seems like an overreaction. I doubt we're going to see that happen.
I think we're just going to see Spirit Lash, Holy Smite. They really need to stop this Fungalmancer from being as good as it is, because that is going to be one of the ways they probably lose this game, is by Fungalmancer. I guess there is potential for Coin Witchwood Grizzly, but they don't necessarily have the resurrection tools to get it back just yet, and it's still fairly weak to a Fungalmancer, I would say, whereas Spirit Lash, Holy Smite is just way too clean. You gain some life, you clear up the board, you make it a little bit weaker for their Fungalmancer, so I really like this.
Very importantly, you get that Witchwood Grizzly down, and you already do have the ability to resurrect it. Obviously, you'd like those Spellstones to be used for more value, but if you can bring back a 3/12 and it can win you the game, you're going to do it. Taking a look at the Zoo Warlock deck, there is only one Spellbreaker, 2 copies of Despicable Dreadlord, and then, of course, Mojo Master Zehi. So Oregon have teched, I would say, a little bit more against aggro with this deck, with the 2 copies of Dreadlord, and only the 1 copy of Spellbreaker. Going to come back to hurt him a little bit in this series, but in Northeastern's hand right now, it's a lot of removal, not a lot of development. That will all change with Coin Xerix on turn 8, if they can keep that coin, though.
Yeah, Coin Xerix is going to be very important to them, especially seeing one of the Dreadlords out of the way. It would require the second Dreadlord to answer it, or them to have just like a crazy board state of their own. They still have quite a bit of pressure here, especially with this Fungalmancer. They just have to be careful not to overextend too much into something like Mass Hysteria. It's going to be a fine line they're going to try not to cross. However, Mass Hysteria is probably going to full clear this board, especially with Holy Smite on the back foot.
Yep, whatever sticks around, they will just smite. They didn't have the second smite. Having a 6-1 on the board would be great for Oregon, but Northeastern do have it. That's now a once upgraded Spellstone.
But they've still got fight. They've still got quite a bit, and they can keep life tapping as well.
Absolutely.
Maybe potentially go life tap Serenite Light Warden. Seems strong to me. I think they want to life tap as many times as they can just to keep putting that pressure up. There's also double Light Warden Fungal Enchanter now that they drew that. But I think this is just as strong. It gets the most, on the board. It gets also the awkward cards out of the hand.
This Light Warden on the board does mean that Ziliax or Manually Healing Face increases the Light Warden's attack, makes that a little bit awkward for Northeastern. Especially since Ziliax and Heal Face is the obvious play this turn.
Yes. But that's a trap they could fall into. Oregon still has quite a bit of refill, though. They're going to use their second Mass Hysteria here. It's not going to full clear the board, but it gets rid of a good majority of it. However, Light Warden with Fungal Enchanter on the following turn, it can still fit in a life tap. I mean, maybe they go Solarium in hopes of hitting Mojo Master Zihi.
Oh, if they hit it,
That's pretty powerful.
That's a gamble worth taking.
I think that's what they're looking for right now. And worst case scenario is they just play all the minions they got from it.
Yeah, they got some cheap stuff.
Life tapping won't give them enough ability to play it. They do have the second Dreadlord to clear up the cloning gallery board, which is going to be strong for them.
And there is the chance that with all of the minions in the res pool, Northeastern don't bring back Witchwood Grizzly with the Spellstone. Well, they're going to pull Velen,
Two Radiant Elementals.
and Lich King. So they're going to get Witchwood Grizzly or Lich King. Potentially both. I like developing the Dreadlord over the Tar Creeper here. Tar Creeper doesn't help anything.
It's more pressure. I would have been opposed to say maybe Life Tap, Light Warden. It's also a possibility. All right, Coin Cloning Gallery. Strongest play here. Although, it's got Vargoth in the pool. Looks like they're going to use the Power Word Shield. They would rather have an extra shield
Then an extra Cloning Gallery.
but it's going to cast the coin, though.
Okay, so there is a failure rate with the Spellstone. They actually... That's my bad. They don't have Lich King. They have that Vargoth. So they could get these 3 exact minions back from the Spellstone and not get the Witchwood Grizzly. Shadow Reaper Anduin's not hitting anything on Oregon's board right now.
Yeah, I think if you're Oregon here, you just life tap, play the Light Warden, play the Fungal Enchanter. I don't think you necessarily need to Spellbreak or anything because your goal right now is to push everything face and end the game next turn if they do not have any kind of AoE. And they've already used both Mass Hysterias. They would have to have Psychic Scream, which they have not screamed this board. That would tell me that they don't currently have it. See, I don't know about the Spellbreaker. Because now if they resurrect a Grizzly, how are you getting through it? I think they may have forgotten that Vargoth becomes a 2/6. Or maybe they just didn't want it in the pool so that Resurrect doesn't go happen twice. That could be another reason why.
That's possible. Maybe they just don't care that it's a 2/6.
That's fair enough. I mean, they might have just enough damage to get through the Witchwood Grizzly right now. It might have actually been better that they Spellbreakered that.
This is a fully upgraded Spellstone now, though, so Witchwood Grizzly, Radiant Elemental, and Prophet Velen will be coming back, but because the Vargoth did not die, it cannot trigger the Spellstone again. So this was very smart by Oregon.
Yeah, it looks like they just wanted to Spellbreaker that. That way it wasn't in the res pool. That way they couldn't do 2 fully upgraded Spellstones. That was a really good spot on their part.
What can Northeastern do here?
They Resurrect, hope it's Witchwood Grizzly.
It will be. Oregon are getting a little.
They're getting
a little
excited.
Hyped. They seemed stressed before this game began.
I can't blame them. This is for a trip or a chance to go compete the Vegas Masters Tour.
They're seeing the finish line. There's only 3 minions in the res pool. This is the best that Northeastern can do. They can heal for 4. They go to 19.
They increase the light warden attack, though.
They do, but only by 2.
I feel like this is enough.
I haven't mathed it out. Life Drinker increases the light warden attack by another 2. So if they push Flame Imp and then they Life Drinker, they push Light Warden, how much damage do they have? 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 14, 18?
They need to do
that again.
Total.
I'm going to do that one more time.
They need to do a total of 31 damage.
Flame Imp goes over. Life Drinker is played. The Light Warden goes to 9, trades over the Grizzly. There's your 12. Now you have the remaining damage on board, plus the Soulfire. Oh, wait, no, the Light Drinker damage. Of course, the Life Drinker does damage.
They have exact lethal.
They've got it.
They have exact lethal.
They're counting it out just to make for darn sure that they have it.
They're double checking. They're triple checking.
It's 18 damage with the Soulfire. They had 2 over. University of Oregon behind 0-2, reverse sweeping one of the best decks in the game right now, and they are your varsity champions for this season of the Hearthstone Collegiate Championships. What a comeback story from these guys.
What a series of Hearthstone.
Oh my
Holy
gosh.
moly.
Congratulations to Northeastern. They have played such a phenomenal tournament so far, and they are not out. You are going to be seeing them in the championship bracket. This was just for the winner of the varsity bracket. Both these teams are going to be going into the championship bracket, into the greater pool with the open division to fight for that prize money that we show you at the beginning of the show. But this was for the invitation to the Masters Tour in Las Vegas, a $250,000 event. And University of Oregon, those 3 players are officially invited to attend. If they so choose, they can play for that prize money, and this is such an amazing opportunity for them. You saw how excited they were.
I just love seeing pop-offs like that. Like it was just kind of so sweet to see how like into it they were and how just like grateful they were to kind of be in this spot, and how they have been playing really well throughout the entirety of the tournament, and to make it this far. They were down 2-0. I could see them having like pep talks between each other, saying, "All right, guys, this is our time to shine. We have this game. All we need to do is reverse sweep," and they went out and they did it.
True to name, the Fighting Ducks never stopped fighting, and we've got a chance to interview our winners from the University of Oregon. They are your varsity champions on the stream right now. What an incredible final series, guys. Down 0-2, come from behind victory at the 11th hour. You reverse sweep the Clone Priest. You guys popped off. Talk to me about what is going through your heads right now.
Yeah. So we specifically targeted Clone Priest. With the new card, we thought it was going to be really commonly brought. And so we brought 4 decks that we thought we could kill them before they could pull off their combo. And we were able to reverse sweep them, which was always our plan.
Awesome. Well, then you guys executed the plan perfectly. Something that maybe you didn't expect us to see. But before this game number 5, we saw you guys kind of coming together, having a moment together, and just getting ready for this game. What was going on there? It seemed like you guys were just trying to get into the right mindset to be able to win this.
Yeah, so since we started in this varsity tournament, we started praying for every match and before every game 5, and it really, you know, like you said, it gave us that moment together to kind of bond and be together and kind of calm our nerves, because obviously this is a really big game for us. And so it gives us that chance to relax, take a second, and then play our game out.
I mean, from our perspective, obviously, we usually only get to see you guys while you're playing. So to have that little sneak peek behind the scenes, for us, it was awesome. It's so great to see you guys come together and the camaraderie between you 3 and how you guys support each other throughout this difficult time. Obviously, this was a huge, huge match for you, and you were down 0-2. But now you guys are the varsity finals champions. You are qualified for the Masters Tour in Las Vegas. How does that feel? Are you guys excited to go compete on a bigger stage?
Yeah, I don't know how to really articulate it the best. All I know is that, like, you could tell from our excitement after we won that we're so excited to go play at the Masters, and we're gonna take every second like it's the best moment of our life. Honestly, it's gonna be awesome.
I mean, you guys just have the biggest smiles right now. It's so incredible to see. Are there any shout-outs you want to give? Anybody you want to thank? The floor is yours.
My mom. She's gonna kill me if I don't say her first.
Good son.
Yeah, I'll go with my mom and just UO Esports.
Yeah, definitely.
I like to thank my parents, and then I like to thank all my homies that have been in chat spamming. I love y'all.
You guys had some serious fans in the chat. They were rooting for you the whole way. Even going into game number 5, they were like, you know what? It's a good show. They're getting the reverse sweep. I think one guy was like, I got 2 words for you. Reverse sweep. So whoever your homies are, they are good friends. You keep them because they were rooting for you the entire way. Congratulations, guys. It's an incredible story, an incredible showing for you thus far. And obviously tomorrow, the slate is going to be wiped clean, and we are going to be starting fresh for the championship bracket. So back to the drawing board. We are expecting great things from you, and I can't wait to see you perform at the Masters Tour in Las Vegas come June.
All right.
Thank you
very much.
Congratulations one more time to the Oregon Fighting Ducks for being your varsity champion. They played so well that series. They stayed calm. They made sure they went to their game plan, and they did it. They got it done.
I love those guys. The epitome of teamwork, of building up your fellow competitor and, filling in where the others may have weaknesses and really letting your own strengths shine. It's what we want to see in this tournament. It's a team tournament for a reason. It's easier just to have 1v1 Hearthstone. Team tournaments, honestly, they're a little bit harder to justify, I would say. But when you have teams like that who prove that 3 heads are better than 1 and you can have strength in numbers, it's phenomenal to see. But let's go ahead and recap the bracket and see the road that the Fighting Ducks from University of Oregon took to get here. They had to take down Kent State in our quarterfinals yesterday. And then today, taking down Jamestown in our semifinal number 1 to go up against Northeastern in the finals. Their plan all along, they said, was to reverse sweep that Priest. And boy, oh boy, they did exactly what they were hoping to do. They are your varsity regional champions. So congratulations to University of Oregon, to our semifinalists who will all be advancing to the championship bracket, and to our top 8 teams who are not out of the tournament yet, but will be advancing on still to play with the open division. They've got a longer road ahead of them, but all of these teams that you see here on the schedule will still be playing in the tournament. You may see some of these familiar faces when we're back April 20th and 21st. But none of this would be possible at the end of the day if it weren't for our generous sponsors from Asus Republic of Gamers, giving us these awesome computers to be able to look up our notes on, to have a deck tracker on, and allowing us to put on this incredible season of the Hearthstone Collegiate Championships. So thank you so much to Asus ROG for making this season a possibility. And I just want to extend a special shout out to all the people in chat who stuck through our technical difficulties today. We apologize for that, but unfortunately, we are at the mercy of technology. And you guys sticking with it, hopefully that final series was worth it. But Jay, we actually do have a Twitter question today.
Question
I talk
time.
it up every day, but today we've got one. This comes to us from Wavemaster Ashi, and says, which cards from the new expansion are you most excited to see? You still got them all pulled up.
I still have them right here. I'm excited for the new Druid Legendary, the 2-mana 2/3, that you get a copy of both of the spells you cast and choose one. Keeper Stalgers. Excited for 9 lives from the Hunter class. I'm just going to scroll through and read all the ones I'm excited for. Khadgar, I think that's going to be really exciting. 2-mana 2/2 whenever you summon a minion, or is it summon or play?
Whenever you have a spell that summons a minion,
your cards that summon minions summon twice as many.
Oh, right. Cards, not just spells. Okay, so minion cards that summon minions as well, like Vexcrow, for instance.
Exactly. I'm excited for Paladin and the Secret Paladin they're moving into. I like the new 4-mana 4/7 from Priest. I think that card's going to be really strong. I like Rogue in general. I'm excited for all the Rogue cards. I'm excited for Murloc Shaman, even though I'm not excited for Hungry Crab. So I'll be excited for one, but not the other.
Trump's excited for Hungry Crab,
I'm sure he is. Maybe even experiment with the Bomb Warrior a little bit. And there's a lot of good neutral cards that I'm excited for.
I'm excited for Arctville and Rafam. I'm excited to see Swamp Queen Hagatha in play. I'm excited for Blastmaster Boom and Bomb Warrior. Oh my gosh, so many more. There's so much to be excited about, honestly. I'm excited for the new arena format. All the arena players out there, guys, we are getting something so different. We're incorporating wild sets back into arena. I'm so excited to get to play with some of these cards after so long of having them rotated out. So we hope that you guys are just as excited for the expansion that is now coming out in approximately 12 hours and 6 minutes. But when you see this, 11 hours and 50 some minutes, it's been a really long day.
I wouldn't worry about it, Cora.
I went for it, and it didn't hit. On the average day, I am proud to say I can subtract 15. But of course, we want to know who you're rooting for. Are you happy that University of Oregon won? Because I know we're excited to see such a deserving team moving to the Las Vegas Masters Tour. Tweet at Team TESPA. Go on Facebook /Team TESPA. Let us know if you're having fun watching the season of the Hearthstone Collegiate Championships and who you're excited to see April 20th and 21st as we move into the next stage of the tournament, as we move into a brand new Year of the Dragon and a brand new meta to boot. Anything to say, Jay?
Just excited for Rise of the Shadows tomorrow, and congratulations to the Fighting Ducks.
Congratulations to the Fighting Ducks, to Northeastern, to all the competitors that we've seen over the last couple of days from the Varsity division. And we're going to be seeing oh so many more when we return April 20th and 21st. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.